Welcome to Market Like a Hotshot, episode 35. Mr. James Fiuta, what's up?
Holy cow, we're at 35. We're 15 away from that magic 50 that we've been trying to get to.
Get some guests?
I know, we're going to finally have guests. And everybody, we were at Venture Cafe last night, right?
Yeah.
And we had the AMA event before that. And how many people came up to us, right?
Yeah.
And they're like, I love your podcast.
Man.
I know, it felt really, really cool.
Really?
And, people are like, oh, yeah, we want to be on the show or would like to check it out. In fact, I got a call from somebody today that they want to do Market Like a Hotshot live.
At some restaurant right in Framingham?
Yeah, right down the road in Framingham. Yeah, they want to do that. It's a new sports bar that just opened, so look for that. We were originally thinking late April, early May.
But we might push it up, man.
It may happen in March.
Yeah, March.
I think we're looking at March, which is really exciting.
I might have a tan by then, because I'll be coming back from Florida.
I know, I'm jealous.
Yeah.
Well, I get a tan from the snow. I mean, like the skiers tan.
You have to ski the sun's reflecting on the snow.
Yeah, it's insane.
UV
Like you actually can get a sunburn in the wintertime.
I think it's like 5 degrees out today.
It's terrible. And so I had the team. We walked up to the main campus for lunch today, and it was, I don't know, what did you guys think? Cold?
Yes.
Freezing.
Yeah.
Freezing. Poor
We're like, oh yeah, it's not that bad, and it was,
right.
It's like 11 degrees outside.
It's not that you're used to it. That's the thing.
Yeah.
So today we're talking about something that's near and dear to probably both of our hearts.
Yeah,
right?
definitely.
Music, man. Rock it like a hot shot. Don't you love music?
I love music.
I listen to it all the time.
Me too. I always
we were
have
listening
stuff
to some
going on.
rock and roll on the way into Cambridge last night. A little Avenged Sevenfold and all that.
That's always cool.
Hail
That's
to
on
the
Hail
King.
That's a great guitar solo, and with both of us being guitarists, right?
Yeah. Say what you want, man. What guitarist thing?
What? That we're not? Well, hey.
A little bit.
I think we should do a rock band at some point.
We will.
That'd be kind of fun to do.
A couple of power chords will get us going. So so how to promote music online, and also how to use music to promote your business. So it's kind of a two-tiered approach today, right?
Yeah.
So our audience is really musicians out there, aspiring musicians that want to get out there and get their music out there to the masses. And then, of course, how to use music to promote your business, right? So it's a powerful marketing tool. And, we just had our live event. So when I think of music, I think of live music. So we're alive all the way today. So... All right, so we also we talked about funnels last week.
Yeah.
We're also going to go through a traditional sales funnel for a musician.
Which is pretty exciting because a lot of times you don't think of funnels when you're promoting yourself as a musician or performer.
But it's a good process. I like it.
Right.
So why is music a go-to-market superpower?
It's one of those things because music it triggers emotions. I think that's why you see in advertising so often people will license songs. I mean, I remember dating back to the 80s, Michael Jackson and Pepsi. He didn't even drink Pepsi.
I don't think he did.
Yeah. And, they had him, performing because people associate positive feelings towards his music.
Yeah.
And they want that going over towards Pepsi. But we still see that today with a lot of songs being adapted.
Yeah, didn't Michael Jackson's hair go on fire from the
Yeah.
that
was that was a big news story back in the day.
And then you have Van Halen right now.
Yeah, with Crystal Pepsi.
Crystal Pepsi. And Eminem, what's the 8 Mile movie there? Dun, 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 like Lose Yourself.
Yeah, that's a great song.
That's a great song. And then you have the more boring insurance companies like State Farm. Da 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 da. Right?
Yeah.
Oh no, that's McDonald's.
That's McDonald's.
Shit, I don't know my stuff. All right, whatever. See, I don't go to McDonald's, so but hey, we're all not perfect. But anyways, so it always triggers emotions, right?
It does.
And people remember the ditties. We call them ditties.
Like P. Diddy?
P. Diddy, right? No, let's not talk about P. Diddy. We're going off the handle here today. So, and then why is audio becoming more important in short form?
Well, it's very popular on a lot of the platforms like TikTok. If you put a video on TikTok without audio, people are going to just swipe right through it.
Yeah.
It's like almost expected now, especially in short form videos.
Yeah, I always, when I do my TikTok videos, the social connector channel, if anyone wants to know, I always like to put a cool song to my videos, unless there's an effect. Like I did a video with the snowstorm last week. You didn't want to put a song to that, so
right.
But otherwise, and I like to pick trendy songs. And this is where, if you are doing a TikTok video out there, always look at the trending list, because you want to get more views ultimately of your video.
Yeah.
Pick a song
You
that's
get the
hot.
trending audio on there.
You know,
Same thing with Instagram too. It's very, very common that you find a what do you call it, trending song. So I got a funny story.
Funny stories.
Everybody always knows when I say of a funny story, it's it's almost like a trigger warning.
Oh boy.
No, but
we're in trouble.
I was scrolling through our feed, and there's a photographer that does these really cool shots of they show you how they make a shot, and it'll often be somebody at the beach, and they use a special angle and position things a little bit, but they use the song by I forget the name of the artist, but it's "Love Me Like You Do."
Yeah, you don't know who does that song?
It's El Golden.
El DeBarge? No, I don't
know. No, not El DeBarge was from Rhythm of the Night.
Rhythm of the Night. I know my music, huh?
No, but it's funny. So I had told the team over the summer, I'm like, oh, we should use this song, and then they're all like, do you know what movie that's from? And I'm like, isn't it from Twilight or something? They're like, no, it's from one of the 50 Shades movies. And then we're like, all right, so we will not use that song.
Nah,
but I mean, it's funny because it actually is a really nice song for that type of emotional thing. And if you haven't seen the movies, you're not going to associate it with that. But it's sometimes you got to do your research. So that was my funny story. Is that sometimes you got to.
I'm cracking up.
I know.
Reagan, are you cracking up too?
Actually, I'm cracking.
She is.
She is. Look, she can't control her. They can't control their laughter at my dad jokes.
So dad, you're definitely a dad. But so how misicians and businesses both benefit? They actually benefit the same principle. So
right.
I run. Let's rock and roll here and go into, for musicians, how do they promote their music online? Because it's so different now. You don't have to have a record label anymore.
No, you don't.
You definitely with all. I mean, man, imagine, if I knew this back in 1983 when I picked up a guitar for the first time, I would have pursued it, right?
Yeah.
Because if you had the tools today, but back then you had to get a label, you had to get on a radio station and hope for the best, right? A little transistor radio playing your song.
Well.
Yeah.
I remember there was a band that was a few years ahead of me in high school that they actually went and rented studio time, and they used one of those, not 8-track players, but 8-track recorders.
Yeah.
And they recorded a studio album, and they just kind of sold it out of their trunk at school.
Cool.
And it was back then, they just made copies and they printed out labels for it. But today it's a lot easier to do that, and with the technology that's out there, it's super
insane.
Easy
So as a musician, the first thing you want to do is build the foundation.
Right.
Right. So defining your brand, what genre of music, what vibe you want, what's your story. If you're a songwriter, and then resonate to your audience. Who your audience is. You're writing a song. Think of Taylor Swift. Who is Taylor Swift's audience? That's an easy question.
Yeah. I mean, I always think of it as teenage girls.
It is, right? How many 57-year-old dudes listen to Taylor Swift? Not many.
Not many.
Right? But she knows her audience. If you want to talk about marketing, she is the ultimate musician market. She markets better than any. If I was a Taylor Swift clone, I would do exactly what she's doing. Because look, she's a billionaire, right?
Yeah,
she's a billionaire. And then how about consistency?
Yeah, I think having with your brand, I mean, this is something that's common across businesses and across musicians, is having, that visual and audio consistency. So, you don't want to, when you're just starting out, you don't want to have a song that's country, then a hardcore rap song, and then a heavy metal song.
That's Post Malone.
Yeah, but
hold that. Post Malone, right? He started as a rapper.
Yeah.
Right? Was it Iverson, White Iverson, and I'm a party like a rock star, that song, right? And then he did a hard rock song with Ozzy, Take It What You Want.
The one from the new Crow movie.
He did that, and then he just had a very successful country album.
Yeah.
So you talk about that dude's very talented.
But I mean, starting out, you want to have some consistency, but when, you have to be established before you can bounce around like that.
Yeah. And then how about, and this is for you, Mr. Digital Marketing, right?
Yeah.
Get that website going.
Right.
All right, call to action, where people are going to look at where you're touring, where you download your music. It's actually probably cheaper, right, to put the music on your own website than
Yeah.
on like the Spotify's and Apples of the world, right?
Yeah, it's relatively easy. Most platforms have a way. I mean, we did it with their music for Market Like a Hotshot. We actually, it's not live yet, but we have it out there where our theme songs that we put together and a few other things.
The attraction,
Yeah.
and the social connector.
Yeah,
So-
there's some really cool music that we're going to be, pushing out later this year. But it's easy to have your own playlist on there so people can go. You can put teaser clips up there,
Yeah.
and then you can set up MP3s and downloadable, content pretty easily for people on
Cool.
your website.
I like it. I like
Yeah,
it a lot.
It's
So
really cool.
So, well, defining your brand, being consistent with your visual and audio identity, and of course, getting your home base set up. That's your foundation as a
Right.
musician. Now you're now you're officially going into the funnel.
Right.
You're going in that tunnel funnel right now, right? The top of the funnel. This is the fun part, right?
Yeah, you kick it off with some short form content like
TikTok,
Reels.
Reels.
your Reels, your YouTube Shorts, all of that cool stuff.
YouTube Shorts, I think, is the best of the three.
It is.
And why do you think that?
Well, YouTube is the second largest search engine after Google.
Yeah, and Google owns YouTube.
Right, they're
So-
both owned by Alphabet. So
So, because I did this video. I think Reagan was talking to me about it. Right, my snowstorm video last week. I put it on YouTube Shorts. I put it on TikTok. I put it on Instagram Reels. YouTube Shorts have thousands of views.
yeah,
Thousands.
wow.
Really? It's just like
Yeah.
somebody actually sent me a private message saying, "Did you actually freeze to death?" I was like, "It was close." So
Pretty
that's
brutal out
so
there.
the top of the funnel. You wanna have that short form content, and then of course those behind the scene clips. If you're a musician, show yourself messing up playing a song.
Right.
That's a funny clip to do. We're all human.
Like movies have been doing outtakes for a while. Like,
Yeah.
I just rewatched Charlie's Angels over the last
You
couple
watched
weeks.
Charlie's Angels?
The movie.
Oh, jeez.
Not
Okay.
and they have like funny clips at the end, but I think it was Grumpier Old Men that was the one that started the trend.
Yeah.
That was the first one I remember doing. But like most movies, it's like you watch for the out clips or, the outtakes. But the other thing too is behind the scenes is huge. It makes your audience connect with you better. I mean,
Human.
We've even done one for the podcast, remember, where we did like a tour of the studio. I think
Yeah.
Reagan helped us with that.
Yeah, she did a great job.
Yeah.
Talk about a viral short video. That was definitely viral.
Yeah.
And then you're hitting, all right, so you're at the top of the funnel, right? Now
Right.
you're hitting the middle of the funnel. As a musician, what's some of the important platforms or tools?
Well, having an email list is great for
Okay.
that because people come, they like your content, they sign up, and then you can show them even if you're not going on a world tour. But you remember over the summer, we met one of the musicians at the concert just across the street.
Yeah.
And you were talking with her, and she had these nice postcards that she was giving of all the
Yeah.
places in New England that she's at.
Yeah.
So I mean, even if it's just local places in your city or town, it doesn't matter. You got to start somewhere, and it's
Yep.
okay to just start somewhere.
Yep. And then of course use private communities. There's a lot of great
Yeah.
places to do. And then
Like Patreon is a good
Patreon.
one.
I like
that-
Patreon. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean Patreon's a good one that your dedicated fans, you just give them, maybe release a song,
Yep.
leave it out there for a couple of weeks on Patreon, and give them
Hope
something.
for the best, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And then playlists for customers. So if you have customers that are buying your music, customizing a playlist for your customers.
Yeah.
Do you know who listens to your music? And then, of course, in Spotify, you can even brand your profile.
Yeah, you can do a lot of really cool stuff on Spotify.
So, of course, last but not least, as a musician, nothing like a live event.
Right.
And so that's like the middle of the funnel. So
Yeah.
you set your base. Now you're starting to reach your customers, the audience of your music, and that really, I'll tell you, if there was anything else on that, well,
Yeah, like some of the cool stuff, like when you hit that bottom of the funnel, you get your merch dropped.
oh geez, merch.
And we had the Market Like a Hotshot shirts on. Oh, you got yours on, don't
I
you?
actually have mine on, but it's actually kind of warm in here.
It is. It's
It
like
is. Yeah, I think I'm gonna save it to the summer. But
Yeah.
the bottom of the funnel is, of course, this is where actually bands make the most money
Right.
today is merch.
Yeah.
Ticket sales and merch. They don't make money on music anymore.
Right.
So they're making their money on ticket sales, album releases, so. But really, it's any type of live stream subscription.
Yeah, even live streaming your concerts sometimes, because if you have fans that are outside of your local area, it's such a cool way to be able to show them. They still feel like they're part of your, to use a Seth Godin term, tribe.
The
right?
Tribe, I like it. It's a good name for a band.
That
So
is a good name.
So so we have the top, middle. So your funnel is set now, right? From setting the baseline to selling merch and ultimately selling music, right?
Right.
Selling ticket sales. And then, of course, you have all the great distribution platforms today. Damn, man, imagine, prior to 1995, none of this stuff existed.
Well, it's funny because when you think about podcasts, like what the first platform, and a lot of musicians were also using it too, Real Audio.
Real Audio, I remember that.
That was insane. You had to download the Real Audio player. And I still have in my archives somewhere, I have CDs with archive music that's in Real Audio format.
Reagan, you know what a CD is?
Yes, my car has a CD player.
Oh, okay.
Nice.
Right, so
You, Virginia?
I'm a 2000 maybe, yeah.
Yeah, you might have a CD player. But so you have Spotify, Apple, and YouTube. Those are probably the top three. What's each one good for?
Well, I mean, I think Spotify is the premier platform for audio.
Don't tell Apple people that.
Yeah, I mean, it's funny. At the event last night, we have QR codes that have all our podcast URLs, and I was surprised at how many of them were scanning the Apple one and not the Spotify.
Yeah, friggin' Apple people.
Jeff and I both have Samsung phones. We're both Android people.
We're techies. But I think YouTube is, Spotify now has videos, but I would say YouTube because it's more visual.
Yeah, if you're and again, with YouTube being the second largest search engine, it's really a no-brainer to be, put your content out on there.
Music videos are probably more popular today than they were in the MTV era.
Yeah.
Yeah, because MTV went out of business.
I know, that's insane.
Yeah, and let's go back. I don't know if anyone out there heard of V66.
Oh, yeah.
That was actually broadcast here in Framingham, Massachusetts.
Yeah, David O'Leary.
David O'Leary. So it was a music channel in the early 80s. Then MTV came out, got popular.
Yeah.
And then there was a period of time where bands weren't making videos anymore because MTV was starting to fall off. Then came YouTube. And now some bands actually record a video for every song in their album. They have an audio version and also, of course, a live version. So I think out of the three, that's why YouTube is the most powerful discovery engine for a musician.
Yeah, it's
hands down. I mean, Spotify is awesome, but YouTube is it, right? How about collaborations and features? That's another way for artists to.
So it's funny to go back to 80s music. A lot of us didn't at the time know this, but in Beat It by Michael Jackson.
Great song.
Yeah, Eddie Van Halen is the one doing the guitar solo. And it's as I listen to it now, it's they call it his brown sound. I don't know why they call it brown sound.
His guitar was brown.
His guitar, yeah. But it has his unique sound to it. Glass Tiger, Don't Forget Me When I'm Gone.
Yeah,
Brian Adams.
That was a great collaboration. We're talking 80s here, but all right, I'm going to quiz this guy. I always quiz you, right?
Oh, my goodness.
Right,
he quizzes me, and it's I'm never prepared for them. So
Michael Jackson, he had a few rock songs. Dirty Diana.
Yep, Steve Stevens.
You know it.
Yep,
Oh.
Steve Stevens.
Great. I thought it was going to
Wasn't he Billy Idol's guitar?
Billy Idol.
Yeah, he was a great guitar. Yeah, he did Rebel Yell, right?
Rebel Yell and all that. If Stevie Stevens was in this chair right now, his hair would go right to the ceiling.
Yes. But
he's got that big hair.
Another Michael Jackson thing is there's that band, that guy Rockwell, Somebody's Watching Me.
He had one song.
He had one song, and I guess his dad was a producer, record producer at the time.
He's a rich snob.
So he got Michael Jackson to just sing the chorus, and people loved the song because Michael Jackson was in it. Yeah. And it's you don't realize. When you're a kid, you don't realize that it's not Michael Jackson singing it. So it's funny, that.
So even today, all right, so who collabs more? V and I were just talking about Bruno Mars.
Yeah.
Bruno Mars has done a ton of collaborations today.
Yeah, I mean, what was it? Robin Thicke, right? He did something with him.
No. You're totally off, dude.
Am I
Lady
thinking?
Gaga.
Lady Gaga. Biggest
song
song of the year last year, Die With a Smile.
Yeah.
That was a huge collaboration.
I mean, Lady Gaga had Tony Bennett before he passed away. There was a lot of that stuff. You know, I know I'm going back, but like Frank Sinatra, he had Cyndi Lauper and Willie Nelson. Like, yeah, it's like there's a version of My Way with him and Willie Nelson.
Yeah.
You know, and there was the collaborations used to be really unique and they were special. Now they're used all the time, but it's also doesn't mean it's bad. It's just it's so common now that you're like, oh, that's kind of cool that they're working together. But like, We Are the World, the ultimate collaboration
of all time. Right?
When we karaoke next time, we should do that and try and do the voices of everybody.
All right, I'll do George Michael.
He's not in We Are the World, but that's the other one.
Okay,
he's in the Band-Aid song.
The Band-Aid. Do they know it's Christmas?
Yeah.
But yeah, so just the point, getting back to the musicians, collaborate with people, collaborate somebody that's viral. Nuno Betancourt, guitarist of Extreme, does a ton of collaborations.
It's a good band from Malden.
He's from Hudson.
Oh, Gary Sharon's from Malden.
You get your facts.
I know because one of my cousins graduated with Gary Sharon, and a good friend of mine that grew up in that went to Malden Catholic knows Extreme.
So, and then your producer tags, your remixes. I mean, if you're in the kind of the techno world, I'm dating myself, the EDM music. And also definitely in rap, R&B and rap, there's collaborating is awesome. Key. All right, we've talked about musicians. Now we're going back to the business world, right?
Yeah,
how to use music to promote your brand. Sonic Branding 101. What's that all about?
Well, a lot of times goes back to what we had said earlier is that having music associated with your with your product, with your service, with your brand. Like Market Like a Hotshot's a good example of that. We have that bumper music at the beginning and the end.
Everyone knows it.
Yeah, and I mean, when we do the live events, you and I, like now we have our own theme songs on top of that. But like when we did the first one, it's like we played the thing and everybody knew. They're like,
they know it's the Market Like a Hotshot.
Yeah, they know that's the Market Like a Hotshot song. And these are clips, just a little behind the scenes. Is that the bumper music at the beginning and end are actually part of songs that they're full songs.
Yeah.
So like this morning, Reagan and V got to hear me playing it in the background, and I'm like, wait for it, and then they're like, oh, there it is. It was the beginning bumper music, and then like the next song, they're like, there's the ending bumper. It's like it's kind of cool when you do stuff like that. So it's having music that works with your brand. Yeah. It works out really nicely because then it's just another positive trigger for people. So.
It is. So, you have a jingle. We talked about jingles a little earlier in the podcast.
Yeah.
But, think of a jingle for your business. And, if you do have any type of YouTube videos about if you have, educational videos, let's say you're a service-oriented business, come up with a great jingle that people remember.
Yeah.
A jingle, sound logos, background tracks, anything like that.
Yeah.
I think most podcasts today, they do have those jingles at the beginning of their podcasts.
Yeah, a lot of them have that, and a lot of explainer videos too, like people that do how-to videos on YouTube. They have that. It's not necessarily a jingle, but it's maybe like 5 to 10 second audio clip that starts every one of their videos. So like after you listen to 5 or 10 of them, like you just know, you hear that sound and you know it's going to be.
That's it.
Yeah.
And now we're talking about funnels. We talk about funnels
again.
for musicians.
This should be funnels part 2.
It's part 2 for the music as a funnel asset for business owners. So short form ads with catchy hooks.
Yeah.
That's a great. People have short attention span as it is,
really
right?
do, yeah.
So you want to grab them in 10 seconds, or else you're done, right? So you got to do that, and then you got to use platforms like TikTok.
Right.
I love the little catchy 10 or 20-second videos on TikTok. TikTok's becoming like a marketing machine as it is now, anyways.
It has been, yeah.
So how about the middle of the funnel?
One of the things we just talked about was like the music and the explainer videos. Like that's a great way to, get people used to your brand, and it's a good way of using music to get people excited and give you more.
Play music that's positive and upbeat and excited, especially when you do a product demo, because product demos put people to sleep.
That's for sure.
They always do, right? So if you put a good tune in the background, they'll be like dancing to it and saying, "Oh, I like this product. I like that. I'm going to buy this." right? Because they probably like the music. They remember the music.
Right. And I mean, that's something that a lot of people overlook, like you said, because they're just, it's a product demo. It can be boring.
It's a PowerPoint slide.
Yeah. But
yeah,
why you want to differentiate yourself?
Play some music.
Make it exciting. Put some music in there.
And how about the bottom, the final part, the bottom of the funnel?
Yeah, like, what we did at our live event, we had an event playlist. We had 4 songs that we had queued up and played in the background.
I hear rumors that the Social Connector made it the Spotify Top 100 yet.
I would not put it past the audience, our Hotshots out there. Well, it's funny. I've actually had people say, "Hey, where can I download the music?"
Yeah,
and that's coming. We're
getting there. So
yeah,
event playlists, in-store music. That's key, right? That's the bottom of the funnel for businesses to be able to do that. So, and then, hey, you know what? Make friends with musicians. People that know how to play any. They don't have to be celebrities.
Oh.
As long as they're really good, right? You could commission some custom tracks, right? So you want to be original. You want them to create an original track.
And that's one of the things we're starting to offer now too is original music, and it's very, very fun and cool to do that. I mean, there's so many good artists out there that they're just not well known yet.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of them,
music.
and I mean, even at the high level, where there's a lot of them that will do scores for like soundtrack, like the trailers will have a score that's different from the rest of the movie, and there's bands like forget Audiovox is one of them that they do like generic music that people can use in trailers and things like that. It's really cool.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of great opportunities out there by working with somebody.
Yep. And then how about licensing now? This is important. You don't want to steal music.
Well, reminds me of that episode of Cobra Kai.
Yeah.
Where Johnny Lawrence is like, he's saying, make this video this, and he's like, and put Thunderstruck at the end. And then one of the students is like, I don't think we have the licensing rights for that. And he's like, yeah, we do. I've got the tape in my car. And he's like, and then send it to the internet.
Send it to the internet.
But like that's something where there's been some songs that I thought would be really cool to license, but like you're talking tens to hundreds of thousands of dollars and up.
Yeah.
Like you might find like a '90s hair band that has like a B-side from one.
There was a '90s hair band. I thought '90s was grunge.
No, the hair bands were probably the first couple years. Of
Skid Row.
Yeah, Skid Row.
I Remember
Warren.
You and Monkey Business.
Yeah.
Great songs.
But that's, there's all that stuff. And then a lot of times, too, if you have like a restaurant or a cafe, or you have if you have a physical location that people can come to, having a local musician there to, perform, it adds some ambiance to it, but it also, they're going to go and put that, hey, I'm going to be performing at so-and-so Furniture Palace, or wherever, and like they'll invite their friends to see them perform. It's like, it's another way to collaborate that's pretty easy to do.
Pretty good stuff. So, hey, let's jump into tools, tactics, and hot shot tips.
Yeah, so I mean, like, scheduling, consistency when it comes to anything, promoting yourself, consistency is really the most important thing.
Yeah.
We live by it with Market Like a Hotshot. It's like every Friday we're recording.
Yeah.
Hey,
we're good at that, though, aren't we?
Yeah, and this is actually a special Friday, if you think about it, because in 2 days, on Sunday, someone's having a birthday.
Who?
Someone very, very important is having a birthday.
Who?
And this guy has got a birthday coming up, so if you're friends with Jeff, this is gonna be released the day after, obviously. So you can wish him a belated birthday after you hear this episode. And those of you that are listening to it in like 2030 and beyond,
you can remember this day, right?
Yeah, you can remember this day. So it's a cool time to be talking about this. But no, in all seriousness, like being able to schedule stuff so you can consistently share things. So maybe, you're putting content out, you want it to be on the same day every week, so people know what to expect.
What's some other tools and tactics? I'm giving the quiz again.
He always likes to quiz me.
Hotshot rule of 3 hooks.
Yeah, I mean, like you wanna have different hooks to get people in there. So like you want to hook the mind, you want to hook the audio, the visual, and the emotion. Those are the 3.
Remember, music makes people very emotional.
It does.
Right? You know, you could be angry and listen to death metal, or you could be like, you know, you're with your loved one listening to a nice romantic Celine Dion song. No, I don't listen to Celine Dion, but it's like, you know, somebody like that.
Yeah.
It's a good. No, I like SZA. SZA's like the Celine Dion's yesterday. SZA's like today.
I used to
Yeah.
love Celine Dion.
Yeah, but you know, SZA's hot. The Grammys are on this weekend, by the way.
Oh yeah,
right.
That's right.
The Grammys are on my birthday.
Oh,
They're
wow.
on my birthday, so I'm gonna celebrate with some. I
the
think
Grammys.
we were talking about Bruno Mars. I heard Bruno Mars is performing.
Maybe he'll wish you a happy birthday.
That'd be wild.
That would be really cool.
That'd be crazy. But yeah, that's a little side note there. But,
yeah, but I mean, I think related, you know, kind of like related to that, how it can bring out emotions. I remember years ago they had like Freedom Rock, or one, like there was these album compilations.
Freedom Rock.
Yeah, and the guy, they were playing like songs from I think the 70s,
Yeah.
and there was a guy in the commercial, and he's like, when I listen to those songs, it feels like it brings back my old friends. And then what's funny is, you know, now 30 years later or whatever it is, I'll hear a song and I'm like, oh, it reminds me of these people that I was hanging out with that, you know, used to like, or if you went to a concert with somebody, you know, every time you hear that band, it might remind you. So it's really cool how you have that emotional connection to music.
Emotional connection. That's it. And then let's get into some real life examples. I mean, I think we kind of touched on a few. When you talk about musicians that blew up on short form videos in the past 5-6 years, who comes to mind?
Oh my gosh!
Do you want me to answer?
Yeah, I'm going to have you answer that
right,
one
Lil
because I'm
Nas
thinking
X is
Justin
one.
Bieber.
Old Town Road, right? That dude
That
was
song.
on. That was on TikTok. It became the biggest song, longest running song on the Hot 100
Wow.
until this year. Mariah Carey actually passed him this year with that crappy Christmas song I can't stand. But that was one. And then you think about any K-pop, like
K-pop Demon Hunters, like
yes.
they're like a band. I mean, what is it they called?
Golden
Huntrix.
Song?
Huntrix.
Yes.
Yeah.
Huntrix.
That's and it's funny. Like it was on the top 100 chart, and it's by a fictional band. So
Yeah.
now on Dick Clark's New Year's Rockin' Eve, which is now Ryan Seacrest.
Ryan Seacrest.
Whoever hosts it,
Yeah.
they actually had the three
real
voice
singers.
act- Yeah, the three singers were performing that. You know, it's really cool. And we talked with Victor about a lot of the K-pop
Yeah, Mr.
stuff.
Victor.
Victor Lee, we got to give it's not
shout out.
it's not an episode if we're not shouting out Victor Lee, right? Our good friend.
What's a business that used music to differentiate? I can't talk. And I know we mentioned this a little bit earlier, but
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of different businesses that do it, but like McDonald's is always known for its jingles.
I got it right this time.
Yeah, I mean, Toyota uses "Simply the Best" from Tina Turner.
Tina Turner, great song.
Yeah, I mean, like the soda companies are all.
Toyota's not the best. Hondas are the best.
I don't like either. I like my Ford.
All right, whatever. Found on road dead.
I know. That's so funny. I remember that acronym too.
So, how about a creator who built a community around the sound? Do you know any good creators out there? Reagan, help him out. I think his brain's dying.
Yeah, the awake shot only helps me with stuff that I can actually remember.
Music creators?
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, like there's one that's created a community, not necessarily online, but I think the best example of it, honestly, is Grateful Dead.
Oh yeah, no doubt.
Grateful Dead, and we were talking about them last night. I only know one song by Grateful
Oh
Dead.
geez, typical.
Yeah, I know. Just like, you mean you haven't heard Truckin'? You haven't heard this? I'm like, all
Fire
I
on a
remember.
Mountain.
Yeah, all I.
Taylor Swift before.
Taylor Swift.
As a community.
Yeah, I mean,
Yes,
she's the
yeah,
Swifties.
Swifties.
Yeah,
If you
yeah.
want a new one, I would say Sabrina Carpenter.
Sabrina Carpenter, Man-Child, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then there's a band that was like Grateful Dead called Goose. I don't know if you
Never.
you got to look up Goose.
Jeff likes to quiz me on music, and like we were sitting one Friday evening, and he's like, "Oh,
Who sings
guess
this?
who sings this?" And I'm like, "I don't know." And he's like giving me hints, and then finally he told me who it was, and I'm like, "I never heard that song before." It's kind of like that. Running up that hill from Stranger Things.
That's
I'm
Kate
like,
Bush.
yeah, but like I was gonna say, I don't remember that song ever.
How
from
could you
the-
not remember that song?
I don't remember
What are
it
you, under
ever.
a rock?
Yeah, I must have been because they're like, is
That
that?
song was huge in the 80s.
Yeah, I mean it's funny, but I don't remember that song. I never remember hearing it.
But a lot of that, differentiating the music, and then a community. We talk about communities around the sound,
right?
And then listeners that can steal from each other. That reminds me of rap music.
Well, I mean, it's so common. There's actually it's a kind of a trending video that you'll see. Well, you have like a Gen X dad usually and his Gen Z daughter.
Yeah.
And they'll like play a song, and it'll be was it "Stay With Me" is one of them, and then it's like the girl's listening to "Stay With Me,"
yeah,
and then the guy will hear like "I Won't Back Down" by Tom Petty. Like there's like songs that are very
same
similar.
chord progressions.
Yeah, same similar style, but
Sampled, yeah.
yeah, a lot of times things are sampled. I mean, like we were talking about Vanilla Ice earlier, who took that took Under Pressure.
He said that he didn't steal that song.
Yeah, no,
right.
He just like played it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure, dude. All right, so let's do a Hotshot challenge for our listeners. What do you got? We got 2, right?
Yeah. So what about for the musicians? What do you think we should ask them to do?
Create a 10-second hook and post it 3 ways. And you know what? And do it. It's almost like an ABC test, right?
Yeah.
Post it on Reels, post it on Shorts, post it on TikTok.
And see what happens.
See what happens. And go and run with it. How about businesses?
Well, you can create a branded playlist or sound for your next piece of content. So it's kind of funny. Peter, who's in this building here, so shout out to Peter.
We saw him last night.
Yeah.
Was
he here?
No.
No,
I'm
the
thinking
other.
of Michael. Never
Oh,
mind.
no. Peter, who's right behind us here.
He's listening to us.
Yeah, he's probably listening to us and smiling. He's such a good guy. But I was showing him, I have an Office playlist. You can actually go on Spotify and look it up, JVF Office playlist.
Oh, okay.
And I use it as background music while I work. And it's just like music scores and things like that it's cool to play in the background. And then, so I told Peter about it. He's like, oh, what is that? I'll look it up. So now he's following it too. And I didn't even do it for that purpose. But if you have your own music up in Spotify, or if you have lists that related to your brand that you can share with people, you have a branded list on Spotify. It's just another avenue for you to promote yourself.
Exactly, as a business, right? So
either do that or do a sound, right?
Yeah, exactly. Love it, man. So wrapping up, reinforce the idea that music is a go-to-market multiplier. It is. It's the way. That sounds pretty intense, huh?
Yeah. It really is. I mean, like there's nothing. Music brings emotion to everything you're doing, so it's really exciting.
So the marketing funnel, right? You found your market, you found your qualified lead, Swifties for Taylor Swift, and then how do you transition that to buy 17 versions of her new album that she always puts out, right? Hell of that marketing, and then encouraging experimentation. So I can't talk today.
Yeah, I mean, like experiment, go out there. We talk about being agile with your marketing, and if you do any development, taking an iterative approach. So try it, create a song, put it out there, see what people say, get that feedback, and then people may tell you. You can start with a group before start with your friends and just say, what do you think of this? And they're like, oh, that's really cool, but if you just added this in there, you changed this lyric, or you did whatever, it would sound even better. And then you iterate it, and then you're ready to put it out there. And then that's when, once you get that feedback, then you can do the next one, and then the next one after that. So iterating, experimenting, that's all part of the fun.
It's fun. Music is fun.
It really is fun.
It really is fun. This is one of my fun episodes.
This really is. I love it.
I have to have a part 5 of this.
I know.
So market like a hotshot. Share, like, comment, repost. Spotify, Apple, Amazon, iHeartRadio, YouTube. You want to see our beautiful faces. And guess what? I'm going to close out this episode with a song.
Let's do it.
What do you think?
Look what I brought with me. Social harmonizer. Love it.
I'm going to actually do a shout out to my friend Bob Sansone. I hope you listen to this because he hates when I play my harmonica. So we'll say it out there. We'll leave it at marketlikeahotshot.com. And let's rock it. Ready? 1, 2, 3.